Hey, Alan here from RVAcrossAmerica.net, and this post is going to be at RVAcrossAmerica.net/Goldfield. You know, I've been on the road 9 years, and I've seen a lot of really interesting places. And there are places I've returned to. I've been back to Valley County many times up in Idaho. Got friends up there. It's just a phenomenal place to be, especially in the summer. I've been to Victor, Idaho, and Eastern Idaho, and other places in Wyoming that I really enjoy traveling to and spending time in. And I found a new one. This one is Goldfield, Nevada. Goldfield, Nevada used to be the largest city in the state of Nevada. Today it's a small town of about 200 people. It's a semi-ghost town. It's a town that saw its origins with a gold rush at the beginning of the 20th century, right about at the beginning of the 20th century. And much of what was built at that time, 1905, 1906, 1907, is still standing today. The town is a living museum. The people that live there, they either work at a smattering of retail stores that are in the town, or they're retired. A few of them work at Area 51, which is about 50 miles away, or they have God knows what going on. It's a very unique place, and it's a place that caught my attention. I spent 3 days exploring the community, 3 days in the courthouse. No, I wasn't being charged with anything. I was exploring the courthouse, visiting some of the stores, visiting some of the residents, eating at the Dinky Diner, which is the only place in town where you can actually have a meal. The town lacks a grocery store, it lacks a gas station, but it has a lot of heart and soul. It really does. Let me take you on a driving tour of Goldfield and show you what is and what was. As I walked around through the walking tour, I imagined how things were over 100 years ago and how this town has literally seen so much happen in this country over the last 115 or so years. So here we go. There's also a narrated slideshow that's part of this overall post, again at RVAcrossAmerica.net/Goldfield. And I'm even going to take you to a couple other ghost towns, one just north and one just south of Goldfield. And we'll spend a little bit of time there, not in this video, but in the post overall. A place called Gold Point and a place called Coaldale. Okay, so Alan here coming from Chile, Texas. It's almost Christmas time. It is Christmas time. It's almost Christmas. This morning was 25 degrees. It's a little breezy, a little chilly. It's still going to get into the 50s this afternoon here. But I'm going to take the day and kind of put this post together for you and see if I can get it out today or tomorrow. All right, thanks. And here we go. Here comes the drive through town. We're entering the town of Goldfield from the north. We're on US 95, the main route that connects northern and southern Nevada. As we enter town, you're going to start seeing some of the buildings. You can see that it's a large, expansive area. Again, this is a town that at one time housed 25,000 people, if only for a minute. You can see on your right-hand side, we're approaching a large building. That is the Goldfield Hotel, built in about 1907, I believe, and last used in the 1940s, last opened. It is now being reconstructed. You can see as we approach, there's a little bit of a shopping area on the left-hand side. A couple of other abandoned businesses. On the left side, you can see the schoolhouse. And we're coming up on the courthouse now. That's on the left side. The firehouse on the right side. And this has all been standing for well over 100 years. We're going to end up at the Dinky Diner. We're pulling in. You can see what used to be fuel pumps on the right-hand side, and that little red building in front of us is the Dinky Diner. We're now going to shift gears, and we're coming in from the south. On the right-hand side is a construction area. That's where they're putting in a fuel stop, a truck stop. So there's going to be some food service there. There's going to be fuel, and that's the first fuel that Goldfield will have in several years. Right now, the nearest fuel is in Tonopah, about 27 miles north. We're now turning onto Oasis Street. On the right-hand side is a radio museum. I was unable to get in as the fellow who owns it wasn't there. On the left side, there are a couple of other eclectic junk shops, merchandise shops. On the right-hand side, you'll see some cars with maybe some residents that have been there for a little too long. In other words, there are skeletons sitting in the cars. It's obviously a gag for the community. The community kind of prides itself for being a semi-ghost town and plays up on that. You'll find cars from the 19-teens to the 1940s scattered around town. You'll find buildings, shacks that are occupied and others that have been unoccupied for over 100 years. Oasis Street, like all the other streets in town outside of US 95, is not paved. It's a gravel road. It's a little washboarded. You'll find, again, an eclectic mix of buildings. There's no building code. There's no zoning in the town. So people, when they own property, can put anything they want on that property. And if it collapses on them, it's their fault. We're headed further uptown, actually at this point headed northwest. And this will eventually take us to the RV park, which I was staying at. It's the Goldfield RV Park. Again, you're seeing a mix of RVs that are used for expedition tours. There's a lot of desert roads here and 4x4 roads. A lot of people do off-roading. We are in the high desert. The town is about 5,600 feet elevation, so it gets hot in the summer, but not Las Vegas type hot. And it can get quite cold in the winter, and yes, it does snow here. You can see there isn't a heck of a lot of traffic, again, with only a couple hundred residents. Most of them are not traveling at any given moment, and any traffic through town would generally be on US 95. Most people do not venture off onto these back roads. We're coming up on the RV park on the right side. That's where all those trees are. And you'll see me pulling in. And we're going to park right next to my camper. The site was a little bit tight for a 35-footer, but I got in, didn't cause too much damage, and easily able to get out when I did pull out. So this is what you might call the Highlands in Goldfield. Now we're shifting gears. We're going to do just a backroads tour of the town. You're going to kind of get a flavor. I'm going to stop talking and I'm simply going to turn it over to music and let you enjoy the music as you see the remainder of our tour through Goldfield.